Yeah, putting them in other countries. You know what I'm saying? Now we look at the devastation in ways you couldn't envision that what they did. Yeah, because y'all destroyed your own selves. And you've been doing that even right here on American soil and coming and taking other people's shit and causing them to be involved in your garbage. You know what I'm saying? Approximately 3.5 million Europeans had died in the conflict. You know what I'm saying? 19 million of them civilians, refugee camps, and the ratification of dominant the I guess the ration of dominated whatever daily dominated daily life. Some areas, you know what I'm saying, infant mortality rate, you know what I'm saying, were 1 in 4. Millions of orphans, wandered, you know what I'm saying, and even the burnt out shelters of former metropolises in the German city, Hamburg, and so on. But this was created by you guys. It still come out to the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It still come out to the same thing. So why would you go into NATO and do what you're doing? Zelensky, you know what I'm saying, is now looking to this Zelensky. If we were a NATO member, this is Zelensky, listen to him. If we was a NATO member, war wouldn't have happened. You see what I'm saying? Because he's trying to say that America would have stepped in and did what they had to do when you look at it. You know what I'm saying? But this is what caused it in the very beginning. So Mr. Zelensky has got to understand that you have to now get rid of that NATO garbage and definitely deal with Mr. Putin on the level that should be, because you have to save your people rather than suck balls and look pretty, because you may have took the money to cause this situation from the Biden group and the demon fraternal order garbage, and you went down with the bullshit and you caused this to happen on the common people in Ukraine. So you are just as much to blame somewhere here. You know what I'm saying? Because Ukraine president, you know what I'm saying, Vladimir, or whatever his name is, sounding like a damn vampire. Zelensky told CNN on Sunday that he opened into negotiations with Russia President Vladimir Putin, but if they fail, it could mean a third world war. Yeah, because y'all niggas cooked this shit up. Yeah, like General Sarah Sultan said, he said it was planned out by the Biden administration to probably save their behind of their Luciferian NATO alliance. You know what I'm saying? Russia forces have bombed the art school or whatever he was talking about, where members and so forth were sheltering. Yeah, but we don't know that until we have concrete proof, and we need to know more about this, because this just doesn't lead to just bombing and everybody gets to blame. Same thing happened with COVID-19. They said this happened, and then everybody got to be blaming somebody, and then they blamed the on this and the on that, and then the on became the big corporate for the big pandemic. You know what I'm saying? But they never proved that. But they also kept on driving it to where it became commonplace in our group, and people began to believe it and start falling more and more forward to where even they're doing it right now. But they still want to take down your joint when you say something. You know what I'm saying? And then we have some lady up there talking about Russia will feel more consequences if they use this and use that. Well, let's see what she's talking about. Because a lot of people run their mouth. Russia Ukraine conflict. You know what I'm saying? By a few reporters here lined up. You know what I'm saying? We see Reagan, Helen Reagan, Steve George, Ben Church, Luke McGee, what I'm saying, and so on. Ed Upright, Marine, and so on. I'm not gonna mention everybody's name, but this is coming off of their plate. You know what I'm saying? It's an update, what I'm saying, the CNN World News. You know what I'm saying? The Ukraine President Vladimir told CNN News on Sunday the negotiations will open up. The Russian forces have bombed the school and so on. Now the satellite image shows the scale of the destruction. Yeah, but you should have stayed away from NATO as well, and you need to come clean with that situation. You know what I'm saying? You need to come clean with that situation, as we see. You know what I'm saying? As we see. We see a lot going on. The Ukraine President Vladimir said Sunday that if his country had been uh, admitted into the North Atlantic Treaty Organization alliance earlier, then Russia would not have invaded the country. He wasn't going to wait for that fool. So what was you doing before this happened? How much money you got in your pocket is what we need to understand. Because somewhere along the line, you are not facing reality. You are talking a whole lot of garbage, and I don't want to hear it. You got people, common people over there. You got 10 million people have been forced to flee the friggin' country. So somewhere along the line, Mister Zelensky, you had something to do with it. So did Biden administration and all who was in the NATO alliance, pushing this heat on Russia and expected that he was just going to do. So now you're trying to make Russia into a atrocity on the level of Putin's shoulder, and which we see a lot of stuff is going on. But we're not going to go for that. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to go for that. You know what I'm saying? The plight of Ukraine fleeing Putin's war. You know what I'm saying? While Mr. Zelensky warns of a third world, a third world war if negotiation fails at all. But like I said before, we have to find out who all is involved that caused this to come to this at this particular time. This is where a lot of people is missing the point. This came up now all of a sudden, and we want to know why that it comes up. And also, Mr. Zelensky up for a Nobel Peace Prize. You know what I'm saying? Which is true. He needs to